Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Courtney Ryan, and a lot of guys hear the word expensive and immediately assume it means designer brands, spending a ton of money, or that women only care about status. But that's not what this is about. Looking expensive is really just about looking put together, like a man who has his life in order. It's about attention to detail, presenting yourself well, and making the most of what you have. You don't need to wear high-end brands or spend a fortune to achieve that. In fact, some of the best dressed and most attractive men aren't wearing anything expensive at all. It's how they wear their clothes, how they take care of themselves, and how they carry themselves that make the biggest difference. And just to add in a little bit of the science behind this, studies show that people form first impressions in just 7 seconds before you even say a word. The way you dress, groom yourself, and carry yourself instantly communicate confidence, status, and attention to detail. So whether it's in dating, business, or just social settings, looking put together gives you an edge, especially in a sea of other guys who are putting in no effort at all. Now, I've done similar topics in the past, but I have some new tips to share along with some of the basics that every single grown man should just know. So let's get into it. Number 1 is buy nice or buy twice. And this point is all about quality over quantity. You don't need to spend a fortune to look put together, but there's a big difference between affordable and cheap. And I feel like a lot of people have a hard time distinguishing between the two. Investing in well-made basics that are going to last you longer is better than constantly replacing low-quality items. So instead of buying multiple, $20 dress shirts that are going to fade and lose shape easily, get one high-quality shirt that's going to fit you perfectly and also last. A quick reminder though is just because something is expensive does not necessarily mean that it is high quality. So make sure you're looking out for things like the fabric of the garment, the stitching, the way it's all put together. There are usually these little details about a piece of clothing that will tell you how well the garment is actually made. So maybe I can do a separate video about that if you guys would want to see it, maybe a short or something like that. But these are definitely little things that you want to pay attention to. Now, with the buy nice or buy twice being said, sometimes it's not necessarily realistic to buy the absolute best of everything. I think a key point here is knowing where to invest and then where to save. So I would personally recommend spending more on things like shoes, jackets, denim, watches, things that are going to be staples in your wardrobe and you'll get the most wear out of. And then go more budget friendly on like trendier or seasonal items, things that you're not going to get as much use out of or wear as much. A carefully curated wardrobe though will always look better than an overflowing closet of poorly made pieces. So I think being intentional about what you spend your money on will give you much more functionality in your day-to-day, but also serve you so much better in the long run too. Okay, number 2 here, we have take proper care of your clothes. Nothing cheapens your look faster than wrinkled, pilled, or poorly maintained clothing. Women notice if your shirt looks fresh or if it's been sitting crumpled up at the bottom of your laundry pile for about a week. So make sure you steam or iron your clothes before wearing them if they need a little bit of extra TLC. Use some sort of lint remover. This is a must in my house with 2 fluffy white ragdoll cats and someone who likes to wear black quite often. And also make sure you're storing your clothes properly to prevent those wrinkles and fading. A fabric shaver can also be a game changer for removing pilling from things like sweaters and coats. I use these on a lot of my knitwear and it makes such a big difference. All these little details can really help maintain your clothing and keep them looking as new as possible. Taking care of your clothes properly can achieve a crisp and smooth look that is often associated with that well-maintained and high-quality attire. This attention to detail is going to signal a sense of care and refinement, which will enhance your overall impression, even if you're just wearing something simple like a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. Properly taking care of clothing also tends to drape a lot better on the body, which will make you look better too. Make sure that you're also paying attention to your shirt collars. I think this is something that a lot of guys neglect that actually makes such a big difference. Even if your shirt is perfectly clean and pressed, a sloppy collar can ruin the entire look. A well-structured collar instantly elevates your appearance, making you look more polished and put together. But not all collars hold their shape on their own, and that's where today's sponsor, Slit Collar, comes into play. The slit collar is an adjustable collar support that sits discreetly under your shirt collar, giving it the perfect structure without any sewing or expensive alterations. Whether you're wearing a dress shirt, a polo, or a more structured button down, there's a size that's going to work for you. The regular size fits most dress shirts, the slim is great for polos and lightweight collars, and the athletic size provides extra support for larger collars and neck sizes. A well-framed face is one of the very first things that people notice about you, and your collar actually plays a big role in that. With the slit collar, your shirt collar will always sit just right, enhancing your overall look with minimal effort. The slit collar kit includes all 3 sizes, 10 premium collar stays, and an everyday carry storage box, perfect for keeping your accessories all nice and organized. So if you want to take your style up a notch with minimal effort, check out the slit collar kit and enjoy having the perfect shirt collar all the time. Remember, the little details make all the difference, and your collar is certainly one of them. Also, another big one here is pay attention to how your clothes smell. You don't want to walk around smelling like a musty gym bag. Keep your clothes fresh by washing them properly. Always make sure you look at that little garment label inside of your clothing, and also storing them in a clean space. But there's nothing worse than that like musty, dirty smell that sometimes clothes that have not been washed properly just hold on to. PU. Okay, number 3 is health is wealth. Now, in the past, expensive looking men were defined by tailored suits and luxury accessories. And there's still some relevance there, but I also think today, one of the biggest indicators of status and self-discipline is being in great shape. Think about it. Having a lean, well-built physique is going to signal that you take care of yourself. You have discipline and you prioritize your health. It's something that money alone just cannot buy, which is why it's becoming a modern symbol of success, and honestly, such a flex in my opinion. In a world where so many people neglect their health, being physically fit instantly sets you apart. Now, you don't need to look like a bodybuilder, but a strong athletic frame is going to make any outfit look so much more expensive. Clothes are going to naturally drape better on you, you're going to exude confidence, and you naturally will carry yourself with more presence. A $20 t-shirt on a fit body is going to look better than a designer one that was, $200 on someone who's out of shape. And I'm sorry if that sounds harsh, but it's just the truth. So prioritize regular workouts, make sure you're eating well and taking care of your posture as well. That's one that a lot of guys overlook. A strong, healthy body isn't just about aesthetics. It's a sign that you're in control of your life, and that is always attractive. Number 4, we have wear a watch. A watch sends a message. It signals attention to detail and maturity. Women associate a nice watch with a man who has his life together. This is, without a doubt, my all-time absolute favorite accessory for a man. Not even a question. It's just a true classic, and I stand firm on the statement that every single man out there looks better with a watch on. I don't care how old you are, what your personal style is, or what size wrist you have. A watch simply looks good on anyone and automatically makes you look so much more polished and put together. There are truly so many wonderful options out there at a more affordable price point, so don't feel like you need to spend a ton of money in order to look nice. And if you know me or you've watched any of my fashion videos, you know I just have to say, choose a real watch, not an Apple Watch. Okay? Now, if a watch just is not your thing, I think other accessories can completely elevate your look too. Something like a sleek belt, sunglasses that are going to complement your face shape, a tie bar or cufflinks if you're wearing something like a suit and tie. Just don't underestimate the power of these small details. I think intentional accessories always make a guy look more expensive and put together. Now, a little bonus tip I also like to include here is that accessories can help elevate your outfits, but don't overdo it. I think doing too much tends to have the opposite effect and can actually cheapen your look. So just a little bonus tip from my personal opinion. Okay, next up, number 5 is focus on fit over brand names. A lot of guys wear clothes that are either too tight or too baggy, both of which are going to make you look sloppy. A well-fitted outfit automatically looks expensive, even if the clothes themselves are not. So you'll want to pay attention to some little things like sleeve length. If you're wearing a dress shirt, this should hit right at the wrist, not over your hands, and not too short either. Also, your pants break. Slim or tapered pants should slightly touch your shoes, not bunch up in a puddle. And shoulder fit, which will of course depend on what type of clothing you're wearing. There's different things you're going to want to keep in mind if you're wearing, something like a sport coat versus a t-shirt, a dress shirt, little things like that. There is so much helpful information online and like little graphics that people have made that really do a good job showing you exactly where different parts of the shirt should be hitting. So if you need a little bit of extra help, I think those are wonderful resources. But my point here with all of this is that even basic t-shirts can look nice and high-end when they fit you right and when they fit you properly. If needed, also get your clothes tailored. I like to think about the cost per wear of an item and see if it makes sense to invest in tailoring. If it's a versatile piece that you're going to get a ton of wear out of, I think taking it to a tailor so that it fits you like a glove is well worth it in my personal opinion. Okay, number 6, incorporate neutrals. Of course, you want to keep your personal style in mind here, but neutrals always look more expensive. Things like black, navy, gray, white, beige, olive, colors like this. These are the foundation of a refined wardrobe and are such a great way to always have something to wear. They are incredibly versatile and create a fantastic foundation for any scenario that you could possibly be in. Also, monochrome outfits wearing different shades of the same color create such a clean, upscale appearance. And I don't typically see guys wear this, but when I do, I notice because I think it looks fantastic. Number 7, we have the shoe holy trinity. Your shoes say more about you than you think, especially to us women. Worn out, scuffed, or dirty shoes can instantly downgrade even the best outfit. Now, I think every man could benefit from having these 3 staple pieces in his wardrobe. If I were working with clients one-on-one, these would be my top 3 recommendations for a lot of guys, just to make sure that you have all your bases covered and you have that maximum versatility. Number 1 of my shoe holy trinity is a pair of leather loafers. I adore these and they are perfect for smart casual and formal occasions. They add such an effortless touch of sophistication. Obsessed with loafers. Number 2 would be a pair of smart sneakers. Clean, minimal, and versatile enough to dress up or down. Of course, I'm not telling you to wear these with a suit, but I think they'll work for a lot of different situations and have you covered for your more casual situations that you could be in. I want to emphasize I am not talking about a dress sneaker, okay? And then number 3 is a pair of boots. These can be sort of rugged yet refined, ideal for elevating your casual looks while staying stylish and practical. If you live somewhere like I do in Cleveland, Ohio, you need to get yourself a pair of boots, okay? So leather loafers, smart sneakers, and boots are the Courtney Ryan shoe holy trinity. Also, I think keeping your shoes in top condition is just as important as owning the right pairs. So make sure that you're regularly cleaning them, polishing them if they're leather, and replacing worn out laces. Women always notice shoes, and whether you realize it or not, they can make or break your entire outfit, like I said before. I actually have a pair of Veja sneakers. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not totally sure. And I have worn these things to the ground, okay? But a couple weeks ago, I decided to clean them off. I'm like, okay, this has gotten out of control. I got some soap and water, cleaned them off, swapped out the laces, and they look like a brand new pair of shoes. So you don't necessarily have to keep rebuying things, but I think it is important to make sure that you're taking care of the things that you have and giving them a little bit of TLC, right? You can make your shoes look totally new just by switching out the laces and giving them a little clean. So make sure you're doing that as well. Okay, next is an important one, and that is gentleman's hygiene. Your grooming routine says a lot about your level of self-care. Women are going to notice if your hair looks overgrown, if your beard is uneven, or if you have dry, flaky skin. So try to maintain a clean, intentional look by doing a couple different things here. One being getting those regular haircuts to help keep your style sharp and looking nice, keeping your facial hair neat and well trimmed, or going clean shaven, depending on, what you're into. Some guys look better with a beard, whatever. Using a simple skincare routine. I think moisturizer alone makes such a huge difference, and a lot of guys are not doing this. Also, make sure you're keeping those nails trimmed and clean. Women notice your hands, as I've told you, probably 1,001 times at this point. Guys with long nails, immediately no, okay? Also, don't forget your oral hygiene and your scent as well. Make sure that you smell fresh and clean from head to toe. Now, I have done so many videos on grooming routines, hygiene, all kinds of different beauty stuff from a woman's perspective. I think women tend to go a little bit more in depth here because we have more things to worry about and focus on when it comes to like beauty routines and things like that. So I have shared so many tips from a woman's perspective that I think could really help you guys out. And I'm not just talking about the basic stuff that you hear in every single video. I'm talking scalp scrubbers, tongue scrapers, gua shas. If those 3 words I just said sound like I'm speaking another language to you, you've got some work to do. So go watch my other videos to make sure that you're up to speed. But really here, as I said, make sure that you're smelling fresh and clean from head to toe. And lastly here, we have the rule of thirds, which I've talked about in other videos, but I think it is such a powerful thing to think about that makes you look so much more put together and polished that so many guys have no idea exist or just totally overlook altogether. So I wanted to also include it in this video as well. I know sometimes I might repeat things from past videos, but if I'm repeating it, it's for a reason, probably because I think it's important. So just something to note. But really the rule of thirds here is just about understanding proportions and how to use your clothing to your advantage. The proportions of your clothing can either elongate or shorten the body. This is why following the rule of thirds can be so incredibly helpful. Essentially, it's that your shirt should be 1/3 of your body, and then your pants should be the other 2/3. I'll give some examples here up on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But if you're wearing something like a long baggy shirt, this is going to make your legs appear so much shorter. So especially if you're a shorter guy, you want to avoid that. It's going to reduce your overall perceived height and make you just look a little bit more sloppy. The height of your pant waist is important too, so wearing trousers with a higher waist paired with a shorter jacket can make your legs appear a lot longer and create the appearance of added height. It's also going to look much more interesting than wearing a sort of half and half 50-50 outfit. A big part of looking more expensive and put together is really just wearing things that are going to flatter you. So understanding your body type, the rule of thirds, proportions, these are all going to be super helpful. And again, looking expensive and put together is not about wearing designer brands or spending a fortune. It's about the details that are going to make you look refined, confident, and intentional. The truth is, us women do notice the small things, and when you take care of your appearance, it says a lot about who you are to us. And I know I'm giving you a woman's perspective, and a lot of you watch me to get that woman's perspective so that when you're dating, you can understand what women like and what women don't, or what makes you look more attractive. But I think even when you take all of those things out of the equation here, looking put together is important for business settings, for social settings, for just looking and feeling your best without women being a part of the equation at all as well. So this is not just you dressing for women, but more so dressing to look and feel like the best version of you, which I think is really important and will also help your confidence as well. And you don't need a huge wardrobe or an unlimited budget to elevate your style. Focus on fit, invest in those quality pieces when you're able to, and pay attention to the subtle details because those are what make the biggest impact. When you look polished, you naturally give off the impression of a man who just has his life together. And that, more than anything, is what makes you stand out, again, as I mentioned, in a sea of other guys who are putting in absolutely no effort and acting like they don't care about, well, anything. So if you're here watching this video or putting in any effort at all, you're already doing more than most people. So congratulations. If you like this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. If you haven't already, be sure to also follow me over on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys over on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.